What's going on? Wykevin Bazemore, currently coaching at Shaw University, going through my 4th year. Played at Winston-Salem State 2011 through 2015. Played in Spain a year. Led the conference at Winston-Salem State. The CIAA led that 4 years in a row in rebounding. 1,100 points, 984 rebounds throughout my career at Winston-Salem State at 4 years. So that's just a little bit of playing background about me, and I'm going to my 7th year coaching collegiate basketball.
All right, so when you go, for the young athletes out there, and the parents as well, when you're going through recruiting a player, what's the process? What are you looking at first?
So first, when I come to the game, you know, I'm looking at body language and how you interact with coaches, how you interact with your former teammates, or how you interact with anybody. You know, because first we want to recruit good character kids. We don't want bad character kids on our team. Then obviously second, we're looking at the basketball piece. You know, we want to see, you know, what you can do at your position, what you bring to the table, even outside of scoring. You know, we already have guys that can score, so you know, we looking at the intangibles. You know, how you playing on defense. Are you talking? Are you being a leader? So that's pretty much what we're looking for when I come evaluate. And then what? So right now, is JC? Can you walk us through the steps?
Mm-hmm. You go JC first, like what's, and then after that, you go ahead and do more on that.
Okay, so at our level, Division II, CIAA, historically black conference. It's a lot of older kids in our conference. So we kind of really do transfer portal first, see if we can get some Division I transfer that transfer back. If we can get some Division II transfers that, you know, transfer laterally, and then we go junior college. For our junior college kids, we want them to come in ready to play, and then after that, we'll bring in freshmen that we think we can groom and, you know, maybe send them for a year if so, and get them ready for, you know, our league. So that's kind of how our tier recruiting goes.
So in AAU, you got like all these tournaments every weekend. Mm-hmm. When are you guys going out and looking for talent? Because it seems like there's a tournament every damn week for AAU. So for you as a coach, what time and what period are you looking for a high school player that's playing AAU?
I believe we start going out in May. So we start going out in May. Obviously, we're not going to every tournament. You know, we kind of sitting back and looking at those teams that we probably, you know, normally recruit from. So we just sit down, talk, and go over, you know, what we need first, and then we look at the teams and see who playing where, to see where we need to go. And then in June, that's in North Carolina, that's our June is the high school live period. So in North Carolina, they have high school team camps where their high school are putting on like tournaments. So it's just a lot of high schools, 30, 40 high schools in one building just playing all day. That goes on in June, and then July we go back to AAU. So as far as D2, we're live from the whole June through the whole July, so we can go out every weekend. But you know, it's strategic. You don't want to just be, you know, going out and seeing, you know, random kids. You want to recruit strategically. So that's kind of how we do it. We just look at which team is playing where, and then we send a coach to one spot, we send another coach to another spot, and then send another coach to another spot. Now, if it's a kid that we all like and a kid that we are going after, then 2 or 3 assistants may go to that one location to see that kid and, you know, just kind of hone in on that one recruit. So.
All right, and then also your school, how many scholarships can you give at a time? And then how many partial, and then how many walk-ons?
So the Division II level is pretty different. We can do what we call stat scholarships. So at the Division I level, all Division I schools have 13 full scholarships. So they give out 13 full scholarships to 13 players. At the Division II level, if you're fully funded, you get what you call you get 10 full scholarships that equates to $260,000. So we can kind of split that between your financial aid and your our athletic money. So say for example, I got a kid, you know, player A. If he come in, he get full Pell. He getting, you know, all the grants in North Carolina need based and all those kind of grants that we have. You know, that our tuition is $29,000, so he may get, you know, $18,000 financial aid that he doesn't have to pay back, excluding loans, and then we'll come in and pay the rest of that $11,000 on top of that with our athletic money. So that's kind of how we do it in Division II. So, you know, we can break that down. We can break it down until we might have, you know, 14, 15 players all on scholarship, but it's based off their financial aid. Now we do have some guys where, you know, if you're out of state or if you're a foreign kid, then we have to give them the whole $29,000 of athletic money. You know, if we're doing that, then that's a heavy investment. So that means that we want a heavy return. You know what I'm saying? So it's just based off, at our level, their financial aid and then our athletic money. But at my school, we are fully funded with 10 full scholarships, so we can kind of break that down. And we'll have 14, 15 guys on full scholarship.
Okay, so now you got to say you're the player now. Why should they look at Division II over D1 at times? What are some things that you're seeing from your 7 years that you probably seen people overlook you? Like, now I don't want to talk to you, I'm trying to go D1. So from a player's perspective, what would you advise them to do before jumping to that D1 gun?
Everybody's chasing Division I, and I can understand that. I was a former player, chasing the same thing, but it comes down to a time where reality is going to set in. You got to kind of be real with yourself. It's a lot of guys that we recruit that's borderline Division II, high level Division II, and low major Division I. But you got to ask yourself, hey, I can go to this low major Division I, maybe might redshirt, might play 10, 12 minutes. As far as going to the Division II, playing 25, 28, 30 minutes, and I'm getting my numbers up. And then, now it's the transfer portal. So if you come in, you average 16, 17 in Division II, and you just transfer to Division I, get some college experience under your belt, and then you transfer up. So, that's kind of what we kind of pitch the kids, man, just coming in and getting the opportunity to play, still at a high level, but, it's not Division I. So that's kind of my advice to kids is just, go where you're going to play at, go where you're wanted at, go where you're needed at, So that's kind of what we tell kids.
Also, you would say too, like players should do the research on, how many people are scoring in double figures, right? Because if they're returning and you're coming in as a freshman or possibly a junior coming in from a JC, you still might have to sit that back seat. You still got to battle. Right. It's not over, right?
No, it's not over. So, anybody we bring in, is playing time available. Even though we might have kids back, we still. The spot isn't filled until, that first game tip, and the rotation still may change. So we bring in a freshman or we bring in a JC kid or a transfer kid, it's not guaranteed that a Division I transfer is just going to play. For example, when I played at Winston-Salem State, I came in as a freshman. Winston-Salem State just came from Division I. So I was the first Division II class, and I came in as a freshman and I started, and I was the only freshman on the team. So I say that to say that, the spots aren't filled, but, obviously coaches going to have their favors of who they want to play based on what they did in the previous years. But, if you come in, you put the work in, and you do what you're supposed to do, then you're going to get the playing time.
And then now, AAU, you got a lot more dribble. Yeah. What would you advise some of these players that, dribble a million times? As soon as they get to your campus, what tends to change?
My coach, he runs a lot of sets, so we have a lot of structure in our offense. Whereas a lot of other coaches, they may allow guys to do a lot of freelance and pick and rolls and stuff. But we run a lot of sets, so I would just advise guys to just learn how to play without the basketball, man. Because most of the time you're coming into a situation, it's already a scorer there. There's already a guy that's established there that's going to have that ball, or that coach is going to go to when he needs a bucket. So just learn how to play without the ball until you get coach trust. And then once you get that trust, then you can kind of, maneuver. We have a saying that says a disciplined man is a free man. So if you're disciplined enough to know what we're doing, then you have the freedom to do what you want to do. But until that goes on, then, kind of play within the realms of yourself.
Appreciate you, brother. You have an Instagram?
Yes, I do have an Instagram. You can follow me, WBase22.
All right, definitely appreciate you. Appreciate you, brother.
Appreciate you, my brother Mark.